John sat at his small desk in his tiny apartment, staring at the glowing screen of his old laptop. The soft hum of the city outside made the room feel calm, almost peaceful, yet John's mind buzzed with unease. He had been looking for a job for months, sending out resumes to every company he could find, but nothing had worked. Most replies were polite rejections, and some were just silent. He sighed and rubbed his temples, wondering if he would ever get a chance to do something meaningful with his life. Then a strange email appeared in his inbox. The subject line read, "Exclusive Career Opportunity, Interstellar Communications and Technology." John blinked. He had never heard of interstellar companies sending emails to ordinary humans. Curious, he opened the message. The email was short but intriguing. "Dear applicant, we have reviewed your profile and believe you are a suitable candidate for our office on Zephora. Please respond to schedule an interview. Exciting opportunities await. Zephora Intergalactic Corporation." John's hands shook slightly. He reread the email, making sure he was not imagining things. Zephora? Intergalactic? It sounded like something from a science fiction story, not a real job offer. But the writing seemed genuine, and the email address looked official. "What? John muttered. "Is this real?" He stared at the screen for several minutes. The idea of traveling to another planet for a job seemed impossible. Yet the excitement in his chest grew. Maybe this was his chance, the kind of adventure he had dreamed about as a child. He had always been fascinated by space, alien worlds, and the idea that humans could meet other intelligent beings. After a long pause, John typed a reply. "I am interested in this opportunity. Please provide further instructions." He pressed send, and almost immediately, a confirmation arrived with travel details. Zephora was not too far in terms of interstellar travel, just a few hours in a special transport ship the company arranged for him. John felt his heart race. In less than a week, he would be leaving Earth. The day of departure arrived quickly. John stepped into the sleek silver spacecraft provided by the company. It hummed quietly, and the seats molded comfortably to his body. He felt nervous and excited at the same time. As the engines powered up, the Earth began to shrink behind him, and the endless expanse of space opened before his eyes. He was not alone on the ship. A few other humans were traveling for similar reasons, but most of the passengers were aliens. John had never seen such beings before. Some had shimmering skin that reflected light like glass. Others had multiple limbs moving gracefully, and a few seemed almost translucent, like living holograms. Despite his initial fear, he noticed that all of them were calm and polite. A soft voice startled him. "You must be John." He turned to see a tall, slender alien woman with violet skin and golden eyes. Her smile was warm, and she radiated confidence. "I am Lyra," she said. "I will help you adjust to our office. Welcome to Zephora." John nodded, feeling slightly embarrassed but grateful for her kindness. Thank you," he stammered. Upon arrival, John was guided through a city unlike anything he had ever seen. The buildings floated above the ground, supported by unseen energy fields, and shimmering pathways connected them. Vehicles moved silently in the air, and everywhere aliens of different shapes and colors walked with purpose. The sky glowed with soft shades of blue and green, and he felt as though he had stepped into a dream. Finally, they arrived at the office. It was a towering structure of silver and crystal, with holographic displays floating outside, showing information about the company's projects and achievements. The main entrance opened automatically as they approached. John felt his stomach twist with a mix of excitement and nervousness. Inside, the office was even more incredible. Desks floated slightly above the ground, and workers moved with a rhythm he could barely understand. Holographic screens hovered in front of them, displaying data, charts, and symbols he had never seen before. There was no noise like a regular office. Instead, there was a quiet hum of energy, as if the building itself was alive. Lyra smiled at him. "Do not worry," she said. "It looks unusual, but you will get used to it. Let me show you around." John followed her, trying to absorb everything. He noticed that almost all the employees were alien women. They moved gracefully, communicating with gestures, subtle lights on their skin, and occasional sounds that seemed like music. John felt both amazed and overwhelmed. "This is incredible," he whispered. Lyra laughed softly. "It is, and you are going to learn a lot here. Our work style is very different from what you are used to, but that is part of the opportunity." They arrived at a central area where new employees were given orientation. Lyra introduced John to several other staff members, each of them polite and curious about the human newcomer. One of them, a tall alien woman named Tara, gave him a small bow. "Welcome, John," she said. "You will find our methods unusual but effective. We value creativity, intelligence, and cooperation." John nodded, trying to appear confident, though he felt a little out of place. He had always thought of himself as intelligent, but now he wondered how he could measure up in a place so advanced, so different from Earth. Lyra led him to a floating desk that automatically adjusted to his height. "This will be your workstation," she explained. "Do not worry if you feel confused at first, everyone does. Learning is part of the experience." John sat down, feeling the gentle hum of the desk and the subtle vibrations of the office. Energy. He took a deep breath and looked around. He was here. He had crossed galaxies, left his home planet, and entered a world he had only dreamed about. For the first time in years, John felt something he had almost forgotten. Hope. He smiled to himself. Maybe this is the start of something amazing. As the day went on, John observed the alien women at work. They moved quickly, yet with precision. They communicated in ways he did not fully understand, yet everything seemed to flow seamlessly. John knew that he would have to learn their ways, adapt, and find his place among them. And so John's journey began, an adventure beyond imagination, in an alien office where he would soon discover not only new work methods, but also the strength, skill, and brilliance of alien women. Little did he know, the lessons he would learn here would change his life forever. John woke early the next morning, still amazed by the sights of Zephora. The floating city shimmered with colors he could hardly name. The streets were quiet, except for the soft hum of energy vehicles gliding above. Even though he had barely slept, excitement kept him awake. Today was his first full day at the Zephora Intergalactic Corporation. He entered the office, and Lyra was already waiting. "Good morning, John," she said warmly. "Today you will begin orientation. It will be different from what you are used to, but don't worry. Take your time and observe." John nodded, trying to calm the nervous butterflies in his stomach. He had spent his whole life learning in human schools, working in human offices, and following human rules. Here everything was different, he could feel it in the air, the energy, the precision, and the quiet power of the alien employees. Lyra led him to a large room with a high, glowing ceiling. Holographic displays floated in midair, showing diagrams, charts, and symbols that John could not yet understand. Alien women moved gracefully around the room, interacting with the holograms and with each other in a language that was part sound, part light, and part subtle gesture. "This is where we start orientation," Lyra explained. "You will learn our culture, our work methods, and the basics of interstellar communication technology. Pay attention to how the team works. Observation is your first step." John's eyes widened. He had expected lectures or written manuals, but there were none. Everything seemed to be taught through demonstration, discussion, and subtle cues. The first exercise was simple in theory: coordinate a message relay across the room using the holographic devices. But as John tried to follow, he realized the alien women were not only fast, they were precise in a way that seemed almost impossible. Their hands moved in fluid motions, sending signals through lights and gestures, while their voices hummed, in patterns he could not reproduce. John stumbled, pressing the wrong buttons and sending the message to the wrong terminal. A ripple of laughter echoed from the other side of the room. He felt a flush of embarrassment. Tara, the tall alien woman he had met yesterday, approached him. "Do not worry, John," she said with a smile. Mistakes are not failures here, they are learning steps. Observe the patterns, feel the rhythm, and try again. You are doing well simply by trying. John nodded, grateful for her kindness. He took a deep breath and watched the alien women closely. Slowly, he began to notice patterns. Their gestures were like a dance, each movement purposeful. Their lights and sounds were not random, they carried meaning. And somehow, despite the complexity, everything moved together as if guided by a single mind. Over the next few hours, John practiced. At first, he fumbled constantly, pressing the wrong holographic buttons or misreading a gesture. But Tara and Lyra encouraged him patiently. They taught him to pause, observe, and feel the flow of work around him. Slowly, he began to understand that the alien women were not just completing tasks. They were communicating, coordinating, and thinking together in a way humans rarely did. During a short break, John asked Tara, "How do you do it? It seems like you can see everything at once and know exactly what to do." Tara laughed softly, a sound like wind chimes. "It is not about seeing everything at once. It is about trust, observation, and cooperation. Each of us contributes, and we rely on each other. The work is not done alone. It is done together. That is why you will need to learn how to feel the rhythm, not just follow instructions." John thought about this. On Earth, work was often competitive, and individuals tried to prove themselves by standing out. Here, the focus was different. Success came from harmony, collaboration, and understanding others' strengths. He realized that he would have to rethink everything he knew about work. By midday, John was beginning to feel more comfortable. He still made mistakes, but they were smaller now. The alien women corrected him gently, without frustration, and praised him when he got things right. He could feel his confidence growing. Then came a new challenge. Lyra announced that John would participate in a group project with 3 alien women to solve a communication problem between 2 distant stations on Zephora. John was nervous. He had only just begun to understand basic tasks, and now he was part of a real project. As they gathered around the floating holographic interface, John noticed how naturally the alien women worked together. They anticipated each other's movements, finishing gestures and signals for one another. John felt both awe and intimidation. He wasn't sure if he could keep up. At first, he struggled to follow the pace. He hesitated, unsure which signal meant what. The project required precise timing, and his delays caused minor confusion. Tara noticed and stepped beside him. "Do not rush," she said gently. "Feel the flow and respond when you are ready. Precision is more important than speed." John took a deep breath. He focused on the patterns, the lights, and the subtle sounds. Slowly, he began to match their rhythm. The group progressed, completing the first stage of the project. When they finished, the alien women exchanged pleased gestures and sounds, and one of them placed a hand lightly on John's shoulder. It was a gesture of approval. For the first time, John felt like he belonged. During lunch, John walked to a quiet balcony overlooking the city. The floating buildings gleamed in the sunlight, and the sky was filled with soft hues of green and blue. He thought about the morning. Everything was so different from Earth, yet he felt excited and alive. He realized that learning to work with the alien women was not just about tasks, it was about understanding a new way of thinking. Lyra joined him on the balcony. "You are doing well, John," she said. "Most humans take weeks or months to reach this point. You are observing carefully, asking questions, and adapting. That is very good." John smiled. "It's hard, but also amazing. I never knew work could be like this. On Earth, it always felt stressful and competitive. Here, it feels alive." Lyra nodded. "Our work reflects our society. We value collaboration, intuition, and respect. You will learn much more, but today was a good start." After lunch, the team returned to the project. John found himself noticing small details he had missed before, a subtle glow on a colleague's skin that indicated a signal. a tiny shift in posture that communicated readiness, a melodic hum that coordinated timing. Slowly, he began to anticipate the needs of the project and contribute meaningfully. By the end of the day, the project was completed successfully. John felt exhausted, but proud. He had come a long way from the nervous newcomer who had fumbled with holograms that morning. The alien women congratulated him with warm gestures and soft sounds, and John realized something important. They respected him, not for being fast or perfect, but for learning, adapting, and participating fully. The office day ended. John looked around. The alien women returned to their desks. The lights and sounds of the office dimmed slightly, and the floating displays adjusted for the evening. He felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. He turned to Lyra. "I think I understand a little more now," he said. Lyra smiled. "You do, John, and tomorrow you will learn even more. The work here is challenging, but also rewarding. You are beginning a journey that will change you in ways you cannot yet imagine." John nodded, feeling both anticipation and excitement. He had arrived as a human outsider, unsure of his place. But now he was learning, growing, and adapting, and for the first time in his life, he felt ready to face the challenges of a world far beyond Earth. Little did he know, the next days would bring lessons that would test not only his skills, but also his understanding of trust, teamwork, and the brilliance of alien women at work. John woke with the soft glow of Zephora's morning light filtering through his apartment window. He stretched and took a deep breath, thinking about yesterday. His first full day at the alien office had been overwhelming, exciting, and inspiring. He had stumbled, learned, and even felt a small sense of belonging, but today promised to be even more challenging. Arriving at the office, John was greeted by Lyra. "Good morning, John," she said, her voice calm and welcoming. "Today, Tara will guide you through our deeper work methods. You will begin to understand how alien women approach problem-solving, communication, and leadership." John nodded, a little nervous. He had enjoyed the small victories of yesterday, but he knew that this day would push him further. He followed Lyra through the glowing corridors to a room that seemed quieter than the rest of the office. Holographic displays floated in precise arrangements, and several alien women were already at work. Tara approached, her violet eyes glowing gently. "John, today you will observe, ask questions, and begin applying our methods. Remember, our approach is not just about completing tasks, it is about understanding, intuition, and teamwork." John swallowed and nodded. He had felt small yesterday, fumbling with gestures and holograms, but Tara's patience gave him confidence. The first task was simple in description, but complex in execution. John was to assist in analyzing a communication system between two distant Zephyrin colonies. The alien women moved around the holographic display like dancers, their gestures precise and fluid. Data and symbols shifted and changed as they manipulated the display with elegance. John tried to imitate them at first, pressing buttons and mimicking gestures. But soon, Tara stopped him gently. "John, do not mimic. Observe, feel, and think. We do not follow instructions blindly. We adapt based on intuition and understanding." John blinked. "Adapt? Based on intuition?" Tara nodded. "Yes. Our work is not just logical. It is also emotional, relational, and creative. You will learn to sense the flow, anticipate needs, and cooperate. The key is to balance thought and feeling." John thought about this as he watched the team. They were not just completing tasks, they were communicating constantly, not only with words or sounds, but with subtle gestures, lights on their skin, and soft vibrations in the floor. Each movement had meaning, and each decision flowed from the collective understanding of the team. At first, John felt lost. He tried to rely on logic alone, organizing data as he had learned on Earth. But the results were slow, and the team moved ahead without him. Frustration crept in, but Tara noticed and guided him patiently. "Take a step back, John," she said. "Stop thinking only as a human. Notice how we interact. Feel the rhythm. You will understand." John closed his eyes for a moment, trying to focus. He noticed how one colleague's hand movement signaled a shift in priority. Another's glowing pattern indicated readiness for input. The subtle hums of their voices carried timing information. Slowly he began to feel a rhythm, a flow that connected them all. When he opened his eyes, John realized he could anticipate the next step before it happened. Tentatively, he made a suggestion through the holographic interface. To his surprise, the team adjusted smoothly, incorporating his input. Tara smiled. "Good, you are beginning to learn." John's heart raced. He had taken his first real step toward understanding this alien way of work. As the morning passed, John practiced more. He learned that alien women approached problems with collaboration first. Instead of assigning tasks and expecting individuals to complete them alone, they worked in a shared flow, constantly adjusting to each other's actions. Mistakes were not criticized. They were opportunities to adjust and learn together. John was fascinated. On Earth, mistakes often led to blame, competition, or punishment. Here, mistakes were simply part of the process. The focus was on growth, understanding, and collective success. During a break, John asked Tara, "How do you all know what each other is thinking? It seems like you can sense everything." Tara laughed softly. "It is not mind reading. It is observation, trust, and empathy. We learn to notice small cues, gestures, expressions, light changes. We respect each other's knowledge and intuition. By combining our understanding, we achieve more than any one of us could alone." John considered this carefully. It was a lesson not only about work but about life, about cooperation, patience, and respect. In the afternoon, Tara gave John a new task. He would lead a small part of a project with 2 alien colleagues. The project involved troubleshooting a communication delay between the distant colonies. At first, John felt nervous. Leading in an alien environment seemed impossible. Tara placed a hand lightly on his shoulder. "Do not worry, John. Lead with observation and cooperation, not authority. Your role is to guide, not control. Remember what you learned this morning." John nodded, swallowing his nervousness. He began by observing the workflow and listening to subtle signals from his colleagues. Slowly, he started to suggest small adjustments, combining human logic with the alien method of teamwork. At first, he hesitated, but the alien women responded positively, integrating his suggestions into the shared flow. The project progressed efficiently, and John felt a growing sense of confidence. By the end of the afternoon, the communication delay was resolved. The team exchanged soft gestures of approval and appreciation, and John felt a warm sense of belonging. He had contributed meaningfully, not by forcing his human ways but by learning and respecting the alien methods. As the workday ended, John walked to the balcony overlooking the glowing city. The floating buildings shimmered with the colors of the setting sun, and he felt a deep sense of wonder. He thought about the lessons of the day: observation, intuition, empathy, collaboration. These were not just tools for work, they were ways of seeing the world. Lyra joined him, her golden eyes reflecting the light. "You did very well today, John," she said. "You are learning to integrate human reasoning with alien understanding. This combination is powerful. You will continue to grow and find your place here." John smiled. "I never imagined work could be like this. It is different, but also inspiring. I feel like I am learning something much bigger than just a job." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. Here, work is not just a task. It is a path to growth, understanding, and connection. You are beginning to see the strength and brilliance of our ways. Tomorrow you will learn even more about leadership, creativity, and how alien women manage complex challenges." John looked out over the city, feeling both excitement and determination. He had come to Zephora as a human outsider, unsure of his abilities. But now, he was learning, adapting, and contributing. The alien women around him were teaching lessons far beyond technology. They were showing him a new way to think, to act, and to work with others. As night fell, John returned, to his apartment, exhausted but inspired. He knew that the coming days would challenge him further. But he also knew that he was ready to learn, ready to grow, and ready to discover the full potential of what humans and aliens could achieve together. Little did he know. The next stage of his journey would test not only his skills but also his understanding of leadership, creativity, and collaboration in ways he had never imagined. John woke to the soft glow of Ziphora's morning light, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. The past days had taught him much about the alien office, the incredible efficiency of the alien women, and their unique approach to work. But today, he knew, would be different. Today, he would face a bigger responsibility. As he entered the office, Lyra greeted him with a warm smile. "Good morning, John. Today you will be leading a small collaborative project involving humans and aliens. It will be challenging, but I believe you are ready." John nodded, trying to hide the flutter of anxiety in his chest. Leading a project in this alien environment felt intimidating. He had learned to follow, observe, and adapt. Now he would need to guide, communicate, and make decisions. Lyra led him to the project room, a large space with floating holographic displays showing data from multiple planetary colonies. 3 alien women were already at work, analyzing information, coordinating signals, and sharing subtle gestures and sounds that John had begun to understand. This project requires integrating communication networks between 3 remote colonies, Lyra explained. Each of you will have responsibilities, but you, John, will guide the team to ensure efficiency and harmony. John swallowed. I will do my best, he said. He remembered Tara's advice: lead with observation, cooperation, and patience. The project began smoothly. At first, John focused on watching how the alien women interacted. He noticed patterns. One woman used glowing patterns on her skin to signal completion of tasks. Another used soft harmonic tones to indicate adjustments, and a third used gestures to guide coordination between systems. It was complex, but John had learned to feel the rhythm. When it was his turn to lead a part of the task, he felt a pang of fear. What if he made a mistake? What if he slowed down the team? Taking a deep breath, he reminded himself that mistakes were not failures, they were opportunities to learn. He began by suggesting a small adjustment to the signal protocol. At first, the alien women paused, observing him carefully. Then, they smoothly integrated his suggestion into their flow. A ripple of movement across the holograms indicated progress, and John felt a surge of confidence. But not everything went perfectly. Midway through the project, a technical problem arose. Data from one colony was delayed, causing confusion in the signal integration. John hesitated, unsure how to respond. The alien women looked to him, expecting guidance. Tara noticed his hesitation and whispered, "Trust your observation and intuition. You have learned enough to act." John took a deep breath and analyzed the situation. He realized that the problem could be solved by slightly adjusting the timing of the signals. He suggested the change, and the alien women implemented it immediately. The network stabilized, and the project continued smoothly. John felt a mix of relief and pride. He had faced a real challenge and handled it successfully. As the day progressed, John encountered more small obstacles, miscommunications, unexpected delays, and minor technical glitches. Each time he relied on what he had learned: observation, patience, intuition, and cooperation. Slowly, he gained confidence in guiding the team, balancing human logic with the alien approach to work. He began to notice the subtle ways the alien women led the team. They did not command or force decisions. They suggested, guided, and adapted. Their leadership was based on respect, trust, and understanding, not authority. John realized that this was a lesson not only for work, but for life. Leadership was about supporting others, not controlling them. During a short break, John stepped onto the balcony overlooking Ziphora's glowing city. The floating buildings shimmered in shades of gold and blue, and the air was filled with the soft hum of energy vehicles. He thought about the challenges he had faced today. Lyra joined him. "You handled the project very well, John. she said. You faced difficulties, adapted, and guided the team successfully. You are learning how humans and aliens can work together effectively. John smiled. It was harder than I expected, but I think I understand more now. Leadership here is not about giving orders. It's about understanding, observing, and helping the team succeed. Lyra nodded. Exactly. And the alien women you work with are masters of this method. You are learning from the best. Back in the project room, John completed the final stages of the task. The team worked in perfect harmony, each movement coordinated, each adjustment smooth and precise. John felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He had started the day nervous and unsure, but he was leaving it as a confident contributor and a capable guide. After the project ended, the alien women exchanged gestures and soft sounds of approval. John felt a warmth in his chest. This was respect, not only for his work but for his effort, patience, and willingness to learn. Tara approached him. You have grown rapidly, John, she said. You faced challenges, adapted, and integrated yourself into our methods. This is the mark of a true learner. John nodded, feeling pride and humility at the same time. He realized that being human in this alien office was not a limitation. It was a unique advantage. His perspective, combined with the skills and methods of the alien women, created something new and powerful. As the office day ended, John walked to the balcony again. The sky glowed with soft hues of green and purple, and he could see the floating city stretching endlessly. He thought about the lessons he had learned: patience, observation, trust, cooperation, and adaptability. These lessons were not only about work, they were about life. Lyra joined him once more. Tomorrow you will face new challenges, she said. You will work on interstellar projects that test your creativity, problem-solving, and collaboration. But today, take pride in what you achieved. You are becoming part of something greater than yourself. John looked out over the city, feeling excitement for the future. He had arrived as a human outsider, unsure of his abilities, and now he was learning, growing, and contributing in ways he never imagined. He realized that the alien office was not just a workplace, it was a school for life, teaching lessons that humans rarely learned so fully. He smiled to himself, thinking of the days ahead. He knew that the challenges would grow, but so would his skills, understanding, and confidence. He was ready to face the future, to learn from the alien women around him, and to discover the full potential of human and alien collaboration. For John, Zyphora was no longer just an alien city. It was a place of opportunity, growth, and transformation, and he was determined to make the most of it. Little did he know, the next days would bring even more complex projects, requiring creativity, strategic thinking, and the ability to inspire both humans and aliens alike. John woke to the soft glow of Zyphora's morning, feeling a quiet excitement. The past days had been full of challenges, learning, and adaptation. He had gone from a nervous newcomer to someone capable of observing, understanding, and contributing in meaningful ways. Today, however, felt special. Today, he would work on a full project alongside the alien women, not just following instructions, but actively collaborating and making decisions. As he entered the office, Lyra greeted him warmly. Good morning, John. Today you will fully integrate into a team project. This will test not only your skills but also your ability to cooperate, communicate, and contribute creatively. Are you ready? John nodded. Yes, I think I am ready. Lyra smiled. Excellent, follow me. The project room was larger than any John had seen before. Holographic displays floated in organized patterns, showing information from multiple planetary colonies. The project involved developing a system to improve interstellar communication, requiring precise timing, coordination, and creative problem-solving. 3 alien women were already at work. John noticed how seamlessly they coordinated, their gestures, lights, and soft harmonic tones forming a synchronized flow. They were focused, yet attentive, adjusting to one another, and responding instantly to any change in the data. Welcome, John, Tara said. Today you are not just observing, you are contributing fully. Your perspective as a human is valuable. Trust yourself and trust the team. John took a deep breath. He remembered the lessons from previous days: observation, intuition, empathy, patience, and cooperation. But today, he would also need creativity, courage, and confidence. The project began smoothly, but quickly John noticed a problem. One of the communication signals was weak, causing delays in data transfer between colonies. The alien women had already started adjusting protocols, but John had an idea. Perhaps if we slightly rearrange the timing and reroute the backup signals, we can strengthen the connection, he suggested. The alien women paused, exchanging subtle gestures. Then, with a flowing motion, they incorporated his suggestion into the system. Within moments, the signal stabilized and the data transfer improved. John felt a thrill of pride. His idea had worked, not because he forced it, but because he had learned to combine his human logic with their alien methods. Throughout the day, John continued to contribute. He noticed small details, patterns in the data, subtle shifts in gestures, and even the faint glows that indicated focus or readiness. He suggested adjustments, coordinated steps, and communicated with precision. Each time, the alien women responded with approval, integrating his input into the shared flow. By midday, John realized something profound. He was no longer just a human learning from aliens. He was a team member, an equal participant in a collaborative effort that combined the best of both species. During a break, John reflected on how far he had come. Just days ago, he had been nervous and unsure, fumbling with gestures and holograms. Now he could observe, anticipate, and contribute meaningfully. The alien women had not only taught him technical skills, but also how to trust himself, respect others, and work together in harmony. In the afternoon, a new challenge emerged. Unexpected data interference threatened the progress of the project. The alien women began adjusting protocols rapidly, and John felt the pressure. He took a deep breath and focused. He noticed a pattern in the interference, something subtle that the alien team had not yet addressed. If we realign the secondary nodes and synchronize them with the primary signal, we can eliminate the interference, he suggested. The alien women paused, then incorporated his idea. The interference disappeared, and the project continued smoothly. Tara placed a hand on John's shoulder, a gesture of approval and respect. Well done, John. Your observation and creativity made a difference. John smiled, feeling a warmth he had never experienced in any human office. Here, effort, patience, and contribution were respected. Mistakes were learning opportunities, and good ideas, regardless of origin, were celebrated. By the end of the day, the project was successfully completed. The communication system was stronger, more efficient, and more reliable than ever. John felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had started the day as a nervous human outsider and ended it as a valued member of a highly skilled alien team. The alien women exchanged gestures and soft harmonic sounds, expressing approval and appreciation. John realized that he had earned their respect, not because he had followed instructions perfectly, but because he had learned, adapted, contributed, and respected their methods. Tara approached him. John, today you have shown that humans and aliens can work together successfully. Your growth is remarkable. You have integrated fully into our team, and your contributions are valuable. John felt pride and humility. He realized that being human in this alien office was not a limitation. Instead, it was an advantage. His perspective, combined with the methods of the alien women, created new solutions, new ideas, and stronger collaboration. As the office day ended, John walked to the balcony overlooking Zephora. The floating city shimmered in the soft light of evening, and the air vibrated with gentle energy. He thought about everything he had learned: observation, patience, intuition, empathy, cooperation, creativity, and leadership. Lyra joined him. You have grown beyond what you imagined, she said. You are no longer just a student of our methods, you are a practitioner. You are respected by the team, and you are helping to create something greater than any one of us could achieve alone." John smiled. "I never thought I could belong here. I was nervous and unsure at first, but now I feel like part of this team. I understand more about your work, and I've learned so much about myself too." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. This is what our office teaches, not just skill, but understanding, respect, and collaboration. Humans and aliens together can achieve incredible things. You are living proof." That evening, John returned to his apartment, exhausted but inspired. He thought about the future. He knew that more challenges awaited, bigger projects and complex tasks that would test his skills, creativity, and leadership. But he also knew that he was ready. He had learned to trust himself, respect others, and integrate human thinking with alien methods. John smiled, looking at the glowing city outside his window. Zephora was no longer just an alien world. It was a place of growth, opportunity, and respect. And he was ready to continue his journey, learning from the brilliant skill and creativity of the alien women around him. He had arrived as a human outsider, unsure of his place, and now he had become a valued participant in something extraordinary. The lessons he had learned here were far beyond work. They were about life, cooperation, and the limitless potential of humans when they embraced new ways of thinking. Tomorrow, John knew, would bring new challenges, new lessons, and new opportunities. But he also knew that he was ready to face them, confident, respected, and fully integrated into the alien office that had become his second home. John woke early, as he had every morning since arriving on Zephora. But today felt different. He no longer felt like the nervous human outsider who had first stepped into the alien office. Today, he felt confident, capable, and part of something far bigger than himself. As he walked through the glowing corridors, he noticed the familiar rhythm of the office. The alien women moved gracefully, their gestures, lights, and soft sounds forming a synchronized flow. John smiled. He understood it now, not perfectly, but enough to participate fully. He was no longer just observing, he was contributing, learning, and even helping guide the flow. Lyra appeared as he entered the project room. "Good morning, John. Today you will lead a new interstellar initiative. It will involve humans and aliens working together across multiple colonies. Are you ready?" John took a deep breath and nodded. "Yes, I am ready." The project was ambitious. The goal was to enhance communication and cooperation between several remote colonies, ensuring data, signals, and resources could move efficiently. The holographic displays floated above the table, showing streams of information, charts, and symbols. Alien women and human colleagues gathered around, forming a team that spanned worlds. John felt a familiar surge of nervousness, but it quickly faded. He remembered the lessons of the past days: observation, patience, cooperation, empathy, creativity, and trust. He had grown from a newcomer fumbling with gestures to someone capable of guiding others, human or alien, toward a common goal. The morning passed in a flurry of activity. John coordinated with alien women using gestures and signals he had learned. He suggested adjustments to the timing of communications, improved the routing of data, and even anticipated small problems before they arose. His human perspective, combined with their methods, created new efficiencies and solutions. One moment stood out. A critical data link between two distant colonies began to falter, threatening to delay the entire project. The alien women started adjusting their protocols, but John noticed a pattern in the interference. "If we synchronize the secondary nodes with the primary ones and slightly adjust the timing, we can stabilize the link," he said. The alien women paused, then quickly integrated his suggestion. The link stabilized immediately, and the project continued smoothly. Tara placed a hand on John's shoulder, a gesture of respect. "Well done, John. Your insight made a real difference." John felt a warm sense of pride. He realized that being human was not a limitation here. His perspective, combined with the skill, creativity, and intuition of the alien women, was creating something extraordinary. As the day went on, John continued to lead, coordinate, and contribute. He guided human and alien colleagues alike, helping them communicate and work together effectively. Mistakes were met with patience, adjustments were celebrated, and successes were shared. The sense of teamwork was unlike anything John had ever experienced on Earth. During a break, John stepped onto the balcony, overlooking Zephora's floating city. The buildings shimmered in soft shades of gold and green, and the sky glowed with gentle light. He thought about his journey, from the nervous human who arrived unsure of his place to the capable team member who now helped guide projects spanning planets. Lyra joined him. "You have come far, John," she said. "You have learned not only our methods but also how to combine them with human thinking. You are respected by the team and are helping to shape the future of human-alien collaboration." John smiled. "I never imagined I could belong here. I thought I would always feel like an outsider. But now, I feel part of something bigger. I understand your ways, and I've learned so much about myself too." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. This is the power of cooperation, respect, and understanding. Humans and aliens together can achieve amazing things. You are living proof." In the afternoon, the team reached the final stages of the project. The communication systems were fully integrated, efficient, and reliable. John guided the team through final adjustments, ensuring that all signals, data streams, and resources flowed smoothly between the colonies. When the work was complete, the alien women exchanged gestures and soft harmonic sounds of approval. John felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had led, collaborated, and contributed meaningfully. He had earned the respect of his colleagues, not just because of his abilities, but because of his willingness to learn, adapt, and work together. Tara approached him once more. "John, you have grown remarkably. You started as an outsider, unsure of your place, and now you are a respected member of this team. Your journey shows the potential of humans when they embrace new ways of thinking and working with others." John nodded, feeling humility and pride at the same time. "Thank you, Tara. I have learned so much. Working with you all has changed the way I think, not just about work, but about life, cooperation, and teamwork." As the office day ended, John walked to the balcony one last time. He watched the glowing city, the floating buildings, and the soft energy of the streets below. He reflected on his journey, the nervous human who arrived unsure of what to do, the small victories of learning, the challenges of adapting to alien methods, and finally, the joy of contributing fully and earning respect. He realized that his time on Zephora had taught him more than just skills or methods. It had taught him patience, empathy, observation, creativity, leadership, and the value of respecting others' ways. He had learned that humans and aliens could not only work together, they could create something greater than either species could achieve alone. Lyra appeared beside him. "Tomorrow will bring new challenges, John," she said. "But for now, take pride in what you have achieved. You are part of something extraordinary." John smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. He had arrived as a human outsider, uncertain and hesitant, and now he was an integral part of a team spanning worlds. He had learned from the alien women not only how to work, but how to think, how to collaborate, and how to grow. That evening, John returned to his apartment. He looked out over the glowing city, thinking about the future. He knew that he would continue to face challenges, work on ambitious projects, and learn more about alien methods and human potential. But he also knew that he was ready. He had proven to himself that humans could adapt, grow, and excel in any environment, even on an alien world. For the first time, John felt truly inspired. He realized that this was only the beginning. Zephora had taught him lessons he could carry for life, not just about work, but about collaboration, respect, and human potential. He had learned that when humans are willing to adapt, learn, and cooperate, they can achieve greatness alongside beings from across the galaxy. John smiled, feeling excitement for the days ahead. The alien women had taught him more than just their work methods. They had shown him how to be a better observer, a better collaborator, and a better human. Looking out at the city, he thought, "This is only the beginning. Humans and aliens working together, we can achieve amazing things." And with that thought, John felt ready to embrace the future, confident that he could continue to grow, contribute, and help build a world where humans and aliens worked together in harmony, creativity, and respect. Sephora was no longer just an alien city to him. It was a home of learning, growth, and endless opportunity, and John was ready to face it all, inspired and empowered by the journey he had completed and the adventures still to come.